Hello and welcome, Dr. Nikos. Thank you.
Hello, Artie.
Hi, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today a little bit about the Humanopathy Academy, especially in the context of the EE Center owners and what you can bring to the EES community. So for those that are still unfamiliar with you and with the Academy, can you just give a brief introduction, share a little bit about yourself and what led you to create the Humanopathy Academy?
Yes, thank you for inviting me, Artie. I'm Nikos Chatzibalassis. I'm Greek. I'm living and I'm located in London, in the UK. I'm a naturopathic doctor and also a homeopath, and I have studied different modalities working for many years. I have more than 10,000 hours of assessment and experience with different clients and patients. And our vision, my vision and my partner's vision, was to create something that can train doctors, medical doctors, health practitioners, and now EESystem owners to understand a certain protocol of therapeutics that through training in different therapeutics modalities that are very accepted globally, like psychology, homeopathy, Chinese medicine, and much more, they can find a way to understand what's hiding beneath the disease, what's the blockages of the patient, so they can go to the root cause and start healing from underneath, from beneath. So we've created the Academy of Humanopathy with a vision to change the medical field and make medical doctors and therapists work on a system and certain system based on well-established therapeutic systems, and they can bring real results in the end. The Academy of Humanopathy is an institution that is the dream, the vision we have is to be also a humanitarian organization. So that's why we're creating the Humanopathy Society. So there are two different bodies working together. The one is providing training, the other one is providing humanitarian projects. We begin with young children and teenagers. So that's the philosophy of the Academy.
Wonderful. What does humanopathy mean? What does it stand for?
Well, humanopathy came to us from as an inspiration because we were thinking that something that has to do about passion for humanity. So it comes from the word human, but also from the word passion, because in Greek language, the word passion is pathos. So humanopathy is from human and pathos. We are passionate to support humanity, to support ourselves, and also to support people that want to make a change. So the academy is as an academy was supposed to be. It's a community that we interact, we exchange knowledge, and we support each other like a family. That's what humanopathy is.
Wonderful. I can see how that converges really well with the vision of Dr. Senna Rose Michael and the EE system. And I guess that's, how you came together to share the vision and for you to support EE system owners. Now, most EE system owners are not from the medical field at all, and they're not practitioners, so they don't actually treat or diagnose people that come to their centers. How, in your view, can the Humanopathy Academy help center owners to be more professional and enhance their value they bring to the customers or their guests without diagnosing or treating or having a full, health practitioner background?
The first thing when you are a patient and you go to a clinic or a health center, you have to feel confident that the people that are accepting you know what they are doing. So to do that, you have to have a certain level of knowledge. And that's what we want to provide. So if you have a certain level of knowledge, you know which cases have to be addressed to a specialist, to a special doctor. You know what you have to ask for your client to bring with him. And also, you know how to speak with him and interact with his condition. You have some understanding. In our training, we provide knowledge to the medical doctors. The program started as a postgraduate program for medical doctors. So we have a curriculum that has 7 courses. We have psychology and neurolinguistic programming, and that's because we want our center owners and our students to know how they can speak the words that they will use when they speak with their client, because words are programming your mind. And then they know how to deal with stress conditions. We train them in homeopathy, and with homeopathy they will have remedies that will help them unblock their mind, their emotional blockages, but also they will understand their personality. We have Chinese medicine, because with Chinese medicine you will understand the interconnection of the health issue. Sometimes, most of the times, the manifested problem is a response of another system, an organ, and through Chinese medicine you can understand the connection with emotions, with nutrition, and the energy between the organs. And then we have, of course, nutrition, lifestyle medicine, and we have integrative medicine with Dr. Korotkov. In integrative medicine, our students will learn different technologies that are able also to screen the energy. But the difference with these technologies and through diagnosis is that they provide information about certain things, about your level of energy, about your aura, about your meridians. So when you are trained, you know what your expectation from these technologies. So you are protecting yourself because you are not diagnosing. You are giving some information about their energy field. And this will be very helpful, because sometimes when you know how to read these technologies, you know that an inflammation can increase the energy, or maybe a chronic issue can decrease the energy. So depending to the levels of inflammation, you can see the changes in the energy field. I can speak a lot about that because it's the law of of inflammation and the accumulation of toxicity. So a center owner will have the skills to guide properly a client, a patient, how to use the EESystem, but also to make him feel confident that they know what they are doing and they are using all the technologies they have in these centers wisely. The EESystems are so advanced and they can provide such a powerful impact on the human energy field, especially in the unseen part, the etheric part, because they use scalar waves. So you have a very strong, powerful tool, and when you know how to use it properly, you will increase your success rate. And that's what we want. And we are completely aligned with Dr. Sandra on that. And she's very happy supporting the centers, improving the results, and having more success stories. That's the spirit of our collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wonderful. I also have a BioWare, that the device that I think you were talking about. And I think you did mention a few really important points. The one is professionalism and credibility or authority, right? Because even though we cannot make any claims in terms of healing, with the EESystem, people come to us seeking help or remedy for their ailment, whatever they're dealing with. So we need to have the authority and the professionalism to meet these guests or the clients in a professional way. And you also mentioned the assessment, and I think it's true that most center owners so far, me included, don't have a comprehensive assessment that can also help us track and trace progress, nor do we really spend a lot of time looking at, what are they coming in with, what's the complexity of the situation, and what's the goal, and how do we guide and support them through that process. So is that something that's also part of the academy?
Yes, it's part of the academy because our psychologists will train you how to make a first approach to your client, and then we have also you will learn how to take a history, and you can use it also to find a homeopathic remedy that is more appropriate, and then you will have a protocol, a reading, when you can see his progress. But also because most of the EE system owners are not medical doctors, for all these students, we decided to provide, after they graduate, we are able to provide them also a short course of anatomy, physiology, and pathology. So this is something we will offer also, and so that they will understand better the functioning of the body, and we will give a lot of opportunities to our graduates. So if you are not a medical doctor and you are just a center owner that didn't have any qualification, after having our certification that will last, you will get it in a year, we are planning to follow up with another course of anatomy, physiology, and pathology, which can also be included in a second year of study. We are negotiating and we are almost on an agreement with a college in London that provides a bachelor degree in homeopathy, and they will accept our studies as the first year, and you only have to do the second year in homeopathy, and you will get a second bachelor degree in homeopathy, and then we can include the anatomy, physiology, pathology. So we're working to provide more and more to our students, and even if you are not skilled, you have the potential working with us for 1 year or even 2 years if you want to get two very strong degrees and certifications that they will also provide a lot of credit to your center.
Yes. So that requires also a lot of time investment, obviously, right? So and center owners tend to be busy already with, so there has to be a balance between investing time, which I think is important because we need to think long term, and it's really difficult to retain guests and clients over time, especially if they just come and go and you can't really track and trace the progress, and they might not feel they're in really good hands in terms of the authority and the ability to help guide and support with additional modalities, their journey. But I think even a subjective assessment, not as a medical doctor, but a subjective assessment where you have just, a list with several points where you can see how did I start, and at the end you let them fill out something and say, how do I subjectively feel after this many hours? That's something that even we don't have. That would be a good starting point, maybe. Right?
Yes, it will be a good starting point, and because the program is structured with 7 different courses, when you finish each course, you have the skills to provide the knowledge you already have accomplished. So, because you finish the plan is to finish the course on psychology, let's say in 2 months. You have to invest, let's say, something like 40 hours in 2 months. And then you will do some live meetings with your professor. You will do some live meetings with me, and you will have the skills to start working with your knowledge on psychology. Then you start homeopathy. Homeopathy is much more demanding course, but then you will have support, and the support of the academy will not stop when you finish your course. It will continue because you can be a member of the academy with a small subscription and being trained all your time, all of your life if you want to. But the thing is that you get the skills on every level that you proceed and that you can use. So for me, when you finish psychology, homeopathy, and Chinese medicine, you already have the tools for giving better assessment. The courses like nutrition, lifestyle, and integrative medicine is mainly to guide, to provide more support in a basis of therapeutics. So even in 6 months, you will be very highly skilled to improve your services in your center. Now, We want to be very flexible with health center owners because we know they are very busy. So we are very understanding and supportive the way the courses are proceeding. We have a very nice student community coordinator that we decided also to provide, if needed, emotional support. She is an immunologist, and she will be delighted to help with some stress management issues to our students. And of course, we definitely want to make you be more productive and providing much better impression to your clients. So that's why you can use the term humanopathy. You can say that you're a humanopathic practitioner. When you will be certificated, you will have your degree, your diploma, but also you will be able to list yourself in the complementary medical association list on a certain place when we have only humanopathy. And that's a big privilege and that we achieved for the complementary medical association. So the impression and what your client will receive will be very much upgraded.
I think it's very important to, again, stress that it's not about diagnosing, it's not about prescribing, it's about professional guidance and more authority and credibility as center owners to provide a more holistic and promising, successful journey for the clients that come visit the EE Center, and to complement what we're already bringing to make it, more complete and more successful.
Yes. For me, the EESystem centers have the potential to be in every clinic and every hospital in the future. You have to make the medical people understand and be more confident that we know that we are professionals. We know what we're providing. So when you speak the same language, it's much more easier for them to collaborate with us. So that's why we have courses in the scientific community. Most of them are made for medical doctors. So depending to the kind of disease, we're working on cancer, autoimmune diseases, and that's why we want to implement medical doctors on our trainings so that we can create a momentum with Western medicine. And then we want to input in that momentum the EESystem centers. So the vision is that the EESystem can be a part of every hospital and clinic in the future.
That's a beautiful vision. And I think it's also important to know that the humanopathy is also a community, so that if we as a student have questions about a specific case or a client, that there's a big group of professionals, of doctors, you are there, where you can find support, also client specific. So you're part of a community of experts that can help you, guide you, and sort of, act as a network of competence.
Yes, that's very important. I already announced there is one of our students, Dr. Dream. We are very proud to have him as one of our students. Dr. Dream created a group to support EESystem owners. And when I presented there, I told them that even if they are not our students, we are very open to support if somebody has a serious case, to give them our guidance, because we want to help people. So imagine when you are a student and you meet, all our doctors, all our educators. It will be a very good network for you, and it will be a global network, because we have doctors from Greece, from Europe, we have doctors from India, and for example, I'm preparing now 2 webinars that will be free on our website about autism. So we have two Indian medical doctors, homeopathic medical doctors, that are working on autism and addiction. So they do not know anything about the EESystem, but they have great results on autism with what they are doing. So we will use their knowledge with the EESystem owners, and they can pick up their knowledge because they will train in homeopathy. So picking up this information, you can input it in your practice and you have great results combined with the e-system. So we are trying to create different medical seminars or webinars that will help the e-system owners to be more advanced in specific cases. So as I said, I told you, we are having the doctors about autism. We will have another one for stress management. We are going to have a roundtable workshop about cancer, where we will invite one of our teachers, Dr. Nikolopoulos, that he is a molecular biologist from the Memorial and working on the genetics of cancer, and also other doctors. So we will try to make this interaction of the e-system technology and medical world. And that's where we have to put the center owners in the middle, because through this connection they will get the credibility. And we already started working like that with some centers. We're working close with the Ethera Donna in Athens and Thessaloniki in Greece. And it's a great collaboration, and we will soon see amazing results. Uh, not because the e-system is not capable enough to bring amazing results. It's because we know how to use it better, and we make our clients feel more confident when they go to the center. So any mental restrictions, fears, we can deal with them, and then they will be more acceptable to the energy.
Yes, and my experience is also, for example, detox is very important part of the e-system treatment. So it doesn't hurt to have other modalities that can support detox, from different supplements that you can take, or there's like these Japanese herbal things that you can put under your foot, to draw toxins. There's things like seawater, right, for the mineralization. And so I think it does make sense to combine the e-system with other products or modalities that can create synergies. But then again, you also have the credibility part, where you don't just recommend products, but you can explain why, you can explain how they work in the body, why it's a relevant synergy, and how health is can be brought
Yes.
back in a more comprehensive way.
Let me give you some examples why it's important to know how the human body is functioning. Everybody is different. So you have someone, and when you make the first assessment, you can see that he has a problem with his liver. He has a fatty liver. Or he has a problem, he told you that he had a problem with kidney stones. Or he had been through a chronic urine infection. Then you target your detoxification program depending to his needs. So when you have a fatty liver, you start working by detoxifying the liver. There are certain remedies in homeopathy that can help you detoxifying the liver, like helidonium, like berberis. You can use them as herb, but using them as remedies will be much more powerful. If we have somebody with kidney stones is, as an accumulation of salts, can indicate something about their emotions, their personality. This is knowledge that you will get from homeopathy. And then you will start detoxifying, respecting the fact that you don't want kidney stones to move before they dissolve. So you make a structure, you make your treatments more individualized, and that's professional. And this will be greatly accepted and appreciated by your clients, because you know how to advise them and to guide them. That's the spirit of humanopathy.
It sounds really amazing, and at the same time I'm thinking, oh my God, like how much time do I have to put in, how much do I have to study, because I will not be able to catch up to be a doctor like you, like a homeopathic.
No, you
So how much time do I need to invest to be confident that I can guide and recommend things to my guests and clients?
So we're trying to make things easier for everybody. So we have split it the course in two parts. The training program. The first part is psychology, homeopathy, and Chinese medicine. So this will be something like 300 hours altogether. When you finish that, you already have the skills to make a very good assessment with your client. So after that, nutrition, integrative medicine, and lifestyle medicine can be something that you will do it more easily because it's just for support and to know the technologies, to know how you use the technologies, to know which herbs or nutrition are best for your client, to give him some advice about his lifestyle. So this is the second part. So if you think that you have to have 350 hours, let's say in the following 8 months, 7 months, and you program yourself doing some study on the weekend, it's not that hard. And the courses are also on audiobooks, so you can listen to them while doing other things. You just have to put them on your routine. And then we have the communities, and our community coordinator will try to inspire our students so that she will send some messages, making you being more engaged with the community of each course. So we will try to make it, we are trying to make it very, approachable and enjoyable from our students. So it's not something so hard. It's not about time. I mean, you can spend some hours on your weekend. When you relax, you can, instead of reading another book, you can listen a course, a module on psychology. And when we do some cases, it's also like doing some, puzzles that you do on your free time. You can enjoy it. I mean, it's about improving your skills, but also trying to have fun because our academy is a friendly place.
Mhm. Yes, for sure.
Yes.
And then the studying is one part, right? The listening, and then you also need to start applying it. So working on the cases, so then you start applying it, and then you can loop
Yeah.
back into the community, and so to have
Yes.
that support.
It's structured with some learning objectives of each module, some recaps to understand if you picked up what's the objective of the module, and then we have some assessments that you go through to understand if you really understood the course, the learning objective of the module. And in fact, it's a very enjoyable procedure. And then we have we have some live courses that are also recorded. You can access them every time you want if you are unable to go on the live course. And the educators trying to bring their most friendly and approachable part so that you will also communicate with them, will get to know them, and this will open up the opportunity to collaborate with them in the future.
Is there also an opportunity? I mean, often I see in the Europe chat, for example, there are questions about cases, of people coming to the center and then they get a nosebleed or they get sick the next day or something happens that is kind of out of the ordinary where you have questions. It's like, oh, what should I do? And is this normal? Has anybody else experienced that? Will there also be support for EESystem specific questions like this?
I can support you, everybody, in this case, but usually the reasons people feel aggravation is some kinds of restriction in the system. There is some kind of resistance. So it can be a mental resistance or mindset resistance or a physical resistance. So when you know how the body is functioning and you already made an assessment, you can understand if there is a physical restriction. So you might have to go through more detoxification before putting him back in the EESystem centers. If it's a mental restriction, then you can use remedies to unblock his mind, to make him feel more relaxed. Sometimes people do not like change. Although they are sick, they want to stay in the same position. So you have to make some kind of consultation. That's why you know psychology, how to make them understand that if they want to change their health condition, they have to accept it and make the change. So all this is a procedure that they will open up their body, their energy field, and then the system will start working again. So I'm here to support our students until they feel confident. So then they have an aggravation to know what's happening, but they will minimize the aggravations if they know how to assess their clients before putting them in the system. And that's the goal, to feel confident, to know that you are in charge of each situation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Can you, in practical terms, you already mentioned, I mean, it's an online academy. You can go through all the modules flexibly in your own time. There are some live calls content-wise. There are also some live calls with you where we can ask questions. In terms of the timeline and the cost, can you just sort of give an idea, because you also changed the payment
The
option?
timeline, we have a roadmap, and we try to finish your studies in a year. But the most crucial part are the first 6, 7 months, when you finish the three basic courses of psychology, homeopathy, and Chinese medicine. Then it will be much easier for you to finalize your training. Then we have another course of SIDA medicine, which is not part of your graduation courses. You can be graduated and take the SIDA medicine after that. It's for our students, it's free, so you will not have to pay it extra. So you will graduate with the academy maximum within a year, and you will have the academy support. And of course, if you want to continue practicing with certain cases with our educators, we have a program of support with a small subscription, which will be something like $100 or less, so that you can have access to our educators and keep on practicing. Especially this, you will need more this in homeopathy. Homeopathy, to be a good homeopath, you have to study 5 years. So we're trying to push things to make you be more confident, to know, only by knowing the social results, you are able to treat cases. But you will enhance your knowledge with something like 30, 40 remedies that you will know, and there are polycrest remedies that you can use them. And because the homeopathic remedies do not have any medicine, do not have any substance, there are no cross indications. So you will learn how to use the potencies. So you will have a lot of tools, and you will have them in the first 6 months. And so, yes, we are flexible. We are absolutely sure that you are going to get your certificate in the end, and we want to support you after that. It's not only about certification, it's about the skills you are going to be provided. So that's what we are going to do.
And the cost, what's the cost for the year-long course?
The cost is for all the courses is normally around £4,990. But we have a special offer that in fact, the offer finished on the 15th of November, but we are going to expand it for a month, and it's much more approachable. It's something like 3,800. I don't remember exactly, but also for the European students and also for the US students, we can create a subscription model. We have created a subscription model with just a £700 deposit, and then you go to a subscription, something like, we have it now for £290 a month, which is very approachable. But this will increase after the next year. So it's a good opportunity to join now, and it's something that everybody can afford. And we wanted to keep it like that so that people can get the skills without having to having financial difficulties.
Yeah, hopefully everybody can afford it. I mean, I do hear that some EE centers in Europe are struggling a bit. And so I think the difficulty that we might see is that there is a need to invest in further skills and knowledge building to add credibility and authority and professionalism to what it is we're doing. And at the same time, people invested already a lot into the EE system. They have a lot of continuing costs, for rent and all that. So I don't know if you have, if you can speak to that, if there's a willingness to invest the time and the knowledge to create the knowledge to become more professional. But how do we overcome the hurdle to invest and invest and invest more, right? Feeling like you continue to invest and you don't know if the return will be what you hope it will be.
Look, everybody's finding the same difficulties when they start a business. So from my experience, because I've been running a health center and a clinic, not a EESystem Center, but as a holistic doctor, I've been running a very successful clinic for many years in the UK and in Greece. What brings me the best marketing tool is being professional and providing results. So I have clients that they are trying to find me for many years and they are telling me, please do not abandon us. We need your support. Because they had great results, I was always professional with them. And being professional, it meant that in the past, sometimes I had to send them to the doctor by force. Because, clients try to find, patients try to find the most easy way. But sometimes when you know that something has to be uh, taken care by the Western medical doctor and you force them, then they will come back to you and they say, oh, we are so grateful you did that. I had women that were my clients for many years, and I sensed that there was something not going very well with their mammary glands, and the mammary glands, and I said, okay, you have to go to your gynecologist and do at least as a ultrasound. And there were cases that we found out there was something there and they saved their life. So it's good to give the proper advice, and then your patients will be much more committed to follow you. That's the best selling point, the best marketing point, that when you invest in knowledge and professionalism, you will come back with a lot of word of mouth recommendations. Of course, you can, all these success stories, you can publish them, and this also can become a very good material for your marketing strategy. So for me, it was the best marketing tool in my practice, and that's why I advise the health centers to invest in knowledge and becoming more like authorities and professionals.
Yeah, I can totally confirm that, like I feel that when people come, they do want guidance, like they're asking, they tell you their whole story and the problems and they do want answers, right? In some way. They want guidance. And especially if things don't go the way they would have hoped, right? And they don't see the results, the way you frame things for them and what you can offer
Yes.
them is very, very important. And we know that with the E system, the word of mouth is like the marketing tool that we have. It's the best working and sometimes the only working marketing tool that we have. So I think you make a wonderful point there that it's a investment in our long-term success to build that authority and the credibility and also the confidence and the pleasure, right? And the joy in helping
Yes.
guiding people because I mean there's nothing more rewarding, at least for me as a center owner, to have people be successful in their journey and coming out, better than they came in, and to be able to sometimes give them a different perspective on something, where they have this aha moment on how they also contributed to creating the situation they find themselves in, for example. So for me, I can say I'm very much looking forward to study the Humanopathy Academy program, to be part of the academy, of the network, of the community. I think it's amazing that you created this program and that you're offering it to EESystem owners. And yeah, thank you very much for having me on the academy and for
No, I thank you, Arti, because you are always positive, you are hardworking, you want to provide the results, and that's the people I admire, and that are committed, and they will they want to reach perfection. So, especially when we are dealing with health issues, respect is our first priority. Everybody that is coming to your center is like your family, like your child, like your mother, like your husband. And you have to provide what you would have provided to your person, to your family. So that's respect. And sometimes it's good to have, statistics and results, and we know what we can offer. Uh, I can tell you stories from my experience when people came to me and said, I don't want to do that with Western medicine. Please, we want you to handle everything. And I said, okay, but this situation with Western medicine has a 98% success rate. I can do that for you, but I don't have any statistics. I don't know my success rate. So it's you to decide. I will not take the hard decision. It's not for me to decide for you because you want to pick the easy way. But the best way is the one that has better results and statistics. In the future, we are going to have great results and statistics with the EE system because we are working on that. We want to have, if possible, 100% success rate. But we have to be professionals to be there. And we will be there if we work together.
Yeah, thank you. And I think you also mentioned something really important, which is also knowing your limitations, like when to say no to a guest or a patient or a client, and to say, you should go somewhere else. Like this is not something that I want to take or I can take the responsibility for. I had one woman visiting my center, and she was very sick with cancer, and she had had surgery 3 months earlier, and she told me she never looked at the papers. She burned them, and she decided she wants to be well, and she never went back to the hospital, even though they told her she needs to do chemo after the surgery. She went home, did nothing, was in panic, what was going on with her body. And she came, and I told her, you can come here, but you should go to the hospital to get checked out, to know where you're at, because that's where your panic is coming from. You have no idea what's happening in your body. And I have no idea if the system is doing anything for you if I don't have any basis, to work with or to start from. Well, the end of the story was that the EESystem, she spent a night here. The next morning, she drove to the hospital, which was what she was most scared of. And unfortunately, they found that there was such an immense growth. She died within 2 weeks. But I do believe that the EESystem gave her the strength to face that final, phase in her life. But that's an example, right, of like you have to walk that fine line of professionalism, which I hope I did.
You are
I
bringing a
also say
point, a
no.
very strong point here, because look, I want to ask you how many people that are going through cancer decide to go on the Western medicine protocols with chemotherapy and radiation. I mean, they might be 80%, 90% of the cancer patients.
Probably.
I heard a success story on Instagram from one of the EESystem centers with one patient that he had the lung cancer and brain metastases on the final stage, he decided to do chemotherapy, but on the same time, he did EESystem overnights. The growth disappeared. So what's the message behind that? That we have 90% of the center patients that follow chemotherapy, and we can access those patients with the right protocol, and we can implement the EESystem in their therapy with great results.
Mhm.
So the clientele is huge.
Mhm.
We have to change the
And
approach.
there's,
And we say we can do them both. We can
yes.
do it with great results. So for me, that's the professionalism, because the patient have to decide his path, his therapeutic path, and we have to support his decision. So we do not take place and say, okay, you have to do this, that. We just make clear with a very professional way what we can do. And that's how we can approach the medical world, which is huge, huge clients with cancer that we can support.
Yes. Yeah, cancer, then there's burnout. I have a lot of people with fatigue and sort of nervous system dysregulation, mental,
Yes,
issues. So
definitely.
I guess
Yes,
everybody has their, but I think yeah, it's very important to also keep the humility, right? That we don't have guarantees, we don't understand everything about healing and how it works. And the journey is different for everybody, but we have to be able to support them where they are
yes,
the best way we can, no
yes.
matter what the outcome is, whether they live or they die. Like, it's our job to
It's
guide.
always it's always the free will. I mean, even God respects the free will. So sometimes I know what's best for my patient, but they would do not want to follow it. So it's their decision. You people have a very powerful tool. So when you use it in a professional way, you will do amazing things. That's what humanopathy comes for, to support you to use your systems very professionally. And you will feel the support from the academy on every step, not only from my side, but from all our educators. Each one of them is picked up being a very good-hearted person and with a lot of skills. So you will have a great support to become very professional, and you will become the authorities you want to be.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And if we can combine that with modalities like the BioWell, or like I'm getting trained now in an HRV, the heart rate variability device, where we can then work together to, create studies and measurements and try to
Definitely.
standardize the results. I think we can, as a community, really bring the E system forward in a different way, also in the medical community. So that's what I'm hoping to support. And I thank you for supporting that mission.
Yes, you will do that definitely. And we, as an academy, are starting making our own publications on a medical papers, and we have them all to the website. And we are looking forward to collaborate with some centers to create more papers with that we are going to publish. And so everything will be on the website of the academy. So it's a living organism that we work together.
Yeah, a learning community. So, because
Yeah,
that's what
definitely.
it's about. Okay, thank you
Yes.
so much, Dr. Nikos, for
Thank you, Artie.
your time.
Thank you very much.
I
I
look,
will see you soon in our live assessment with Felix in psychology, and I
yeah, I
will be
look forward
delighted
to.
to. Yeah. Okay. See you. Bye bye.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
yes, hopefully many
Yes.
more will join us.
Yes. Thankfully.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.